Hi everyone and welcome back. I've been lacking lately. I haven't put up any videos. I've had a bunch of problems with my trucks and a lot of work, and it's not fun to film when you're stressed. But anyway, I think I could do a little update here on what's been happening in the last few weeks. So first off, we have this new thing. I traded this for the motorhome that was in my last video. So this is a 1984 Dodge Ramcharger. It's a four-wheel drive. It's in pretty good condition. It's only got 55,000 original miles, but maybe not that good of condition if you're looking at the miles. But anyway, as you can see, the front end here doesn't match with the rest of the body. That's because the whole front clip had been changed, has been changed, and it was painted in like white house paint, and I'll show you a picture of how it looked. It looks horrible. So I just bought some rattle cans I thought matched. The light blue color matched decent. The dark blue not so much, looks almost black, but looks way better than it did before. It came with these Mickey Thompson wheels that I polished a bit, so it look really good. And other than that, it's decent. Got a bench seat. I believe the Ramcharger was available with bench seats, but this one isn't original. But I mean, it looks decent, but it doesn't have the original engine. And pretty ironic, since what I traded it for had an Iveco diesel. This one has a Mercedes diesel. This is an Om602 5-cylinder. As you can see, it's non-turbo, unfortunately, but it is 100% running and driving. I have just drove it in and out of the shop. I haven't tested it on the road yet, so thought we could take a turn here in the place where I work. But unfortunately it's an automatic, so that's pretty boring. Probably has like 80 horsepower, so it's pretty slow. Also here you can see the fender I painted, but doesn't have a lot of rust. Not too bad, needs some rear quarters. So I'm gonna drive that out and take that for a test drive, but I can talk a little more about what's inside here. Some of you that watched my earlier videos may have seen this at the earlier state. This is just work. This is not mine, but I've done all the work to it. Changed the rear quarters, whole trunk floor. I've disassembled everything. It was a running and driving car when I got it. I got it off to an old where I used to work before, and they painted all of this. It's just as nice under here. So that's what I'm assembling right now. I have the engine over there. Here we have extender, nothing much happening there. I need to buy some brake stuff. For that, a lot of junk. And this thing, I actually bought this in the summer, late summer, but I haven't done anything to it yet. I just removed the hood. When I bought it, he said that it was running and driving, and he parked it, and then it had been sitting for a few years. But the first thing I saw was the intake manifold was just laying here on top of the engine, and the lid for the pump was also missing, and I can see in the pump that it's the same kind of crud that was in my 6.5 diesel. So it's obviously that the diesel system and the tank is contaminated, so I'm gonna buy a new tank for it. And then we're gonna do a revival video on this thing. So not much more with that, but it is a 6.2 diesel, and you know I love manual transmissions. So it is a 4-speed SM465. This is an 87 model year, the last of the square body trucks, at least in this configuration. So it has the hydraulic clutch set up, so that doesn't work either, but I have new clutch and slave, new master and slave cylinder for the clutch. So that's something we're gonna work on later. But here's something a little bit fun. In the back of the Ramcharger, I found these fender flares. So this is a right front. So I thought, of course, that these were for the Ramcharger, but I mean, they don't fit at all, not close. But I saw this little cut someone made, and that immediately gave me an idea where these probably would fit. Of course, I choose the right one instead of the left one, but you can see matches exactly with an 80s square body. Doesn't match with the fender arc, so I realized that these are cut out fender flares. And when I looked up the numbers that we have here on the inside, I realized that these are bushwhacker fender flares. They're like $500 to $600 a set. So that was a nice bonus. So this is gonna put on something later on. But anyway, that's about it in here. I'm gonna go outside and show you another truck I bought that we're gonna work on later. So I will keep filming outside. So here we just have my silver Suburban that you've probably seen in the background a few times. Just a junker. My 89 K1500 that I had to force through inspection and had to do some work to get it to be street legal, since my other 92 K2500 the transmission broke. But besides that, got some other new stuff around here. So here we have two new trucks. This one I bought only because I needed some parts from it. I paid $50 for it, so basically free. But that's just gonna sell it in parts. But then we have this. It's a 1980, despite the front clip. That's an 81 up. It's a K10 Suburban. Has a 6.2 diesel and a 700 transmission with an NP205, which I don't think ever was produced from the factory, so it's got some sort of adapter. I mean, it's a young truck, but something to work with. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. I'm considering cutting out since rear quarters are pretty bad, fronts aren't that good either. Maybe we could cut this up and put the fender flares on. Really nice here. It says Dick in Swedish. But anyway, I'm gonna do something fun with that. If you have any ideas, we can put it down in the comments, and let's do something fun with it. Yeah, also here you can see how bad it really is. The rocker is about to fall out of the truck. This rear quarter is even worse. But anyway, it's a complete truck. So we're back inside, and let's start this thing and take it for a test drive. So I haven't started this thing in like 3 weeks when I've been on vacation. So we're gonna see if it starts. Have to glow. Starts right away. Drive it like this, it doesn't feel that sluggish, but I guess when I try to drive it up to speed, it will probably be pretty slow. If you think it's pretty loud, that's because it has no mufflers. When I bought it, had no exhaust at all. It was just cut here at the firewall. So I just cobbled together an exhaust from some bits and pieces I had laying around, and it has no mufflers, because I thought if someone does anything to this they will probably add a turbo anyway. The transmission even shifted. The guy I bought this thing from said it vibrated a lot. The whole drivetrain is a mess. At least it has a original Mercedes automatic transmission. Then it has a divorced international transfer case. So it has a drive shaft to the transfer case and then a drive shaft to the rear axle. It's vibrating pretty bad. And the transfer case is hung up with like some flat bar. So it's pretty loose, so you can rock it just with your hands. So that has to be redone, and actually should be used. Maybe get an original transmission and transfer case, and don't have to have the divorced style. But seems to work pretty good, just driving it like this. I'm gonna floor it. It's not fast, but it moves. Could be a fun driver. Probably gets decent miles to the gallon. Bumpy ride. Reverse works. Yeah, this doesn't work. Apparently I have no experience with Mercedes diesel engines, but I have some sort of vacuum that's supposed to pull a thing in the pump. There's a mechanical lever on the pump to turn it off, but I also have this hose that you can suck on to make it stop. Just like that. And that's about that, about the Ramcharger. Probably disappoint a few, but this one is leaving. I need the money as usual, and I already have a deposit on it. He's picking it up in a few weeks. But that just gives us more money to work on other stuff. So that's about it for today. I want to thank you for watching, and hopefully I can be back with a more fun video next time. But thanks anyway, and I will see you in the next one.